Hi gang, it is Miss Tinks here. I hope you're all having a fabulous day, and I am popping on today just to share some bits and pieces with you from excuse me, from my latest reading. So as you guys know, part of what I do is I deliver trainings in schools, primary schools mostly, but trainings in schools on personal development, neuroscience, growth mindset, and general mental health, basically. Nothing too specific, but all useful and all helpful. So my thing that I wanted to share with you today is I have been reading a book. The book is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's by Stephen Covey. Now, it's a very big book. It's took me a while to get to this point. I'm nearly done. I'm nearly there. I am on habit 6 of 7, so I'm not far off being done now. But the reason that I want to share this with you today, guys, is because it's a really, really good book. As you can see, it goes into a lot of detail. It's quite anecdotal, which means it's got lots of stories in from the author's perspective, where he talks about how he's actually used the strategies and the habits, which is really good because that's how you know that it works. But one of the things that I read in here quite recently, which I thought was super, super useful, was about affirmations. So today we're going to talk about affirmations. Now, if you affirm something, if you're looking at affirmations in more detail, what that basically is it's a way of self-talk, and it's a way of talking to your brain and kind of manifesting good language and good self-talk and good things that you want from your life, basically. So affirmations are things that you say to yourself when either they become a habit and you do them every day, or sometimes they can be when things are a little bit unsteady, a little bit rocky, and you want to reframe your mind a little bit and kind of, move forward from that point. So affirmations are super useful, and I wanted to cover in a little bit more detail what they are, how they work, and some good examples and my learning from this book, because in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, it does talk a lot about how to build affirmations up and what they, how you should structure them. So it's very, very detailed. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight into that today. The reason that affirmations are important, guys, is because on days, like I say, where it might not be going very well, or you feel like you're not getting a lot of support or a lot of people behind you, or that you feel like you're quite alone in the situation, it's important that you guys are your own cheerleaders, okay? So you've got to pick yourself back up from that little slump that you've got yourself into and move forward. Again, when they become habitual, so like when you wake up first thing in the morning, if you do your affirmations then, or if you do your affirmations before you go to bed, generally speaking, they just keep your mental health at a really solid level, and good things and good self-talk can only improve that and heighten that level further and further. So being your own cheerleader is very, very important, and affirmations form a really, really big part of that. Affirmations are good if you've got a goal to work towards, because they're like a little daily reminder for yourself of what you're working towards. And again, on days where you don't really feel like maybe putting the effort in, or going out and doing whatever it is that you've got to do that day, yeah, affirmations can be a good little bit of motivation for yourself as well. With habit forming and making affirmations part of your habits, we have something called the 3 R's in neuroscience. So when you're trying to make something a new habit, you use your 3 R's. So first of all, you've got your reminder. Now, like I say, setting affirmation times and trying to stick to them will be important, because if you wake up first thing in the morning, that's your little reminder to do your affirmations, or before you go to bed, or at a certain point of the day that works for you. And once you've started to remind yourself by keeping that time consistent and doing it at the same time every day, it becomes part of your routine, which is the 2nd R. So it becomes part of your daily timetable, and you don't need that little reminder. It kind of becomes automatic. You just do it anyway. And then from there, you've got your reward, which means that you're getting what you're looking for. So whether it's achieving that goal, or your goal is, whether it's a specific goal to a business, to a job, to school, to sport, to family, whatever it may be, you are getting that reward then by putting the first 2 R's in place. So reward is the 3rd R. Okay, so that's just a little bit into how habits and how making your affirmations a habit actually works. So I'm going to show you guys now 2 different examples of affirmations and how you actually structure them. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so you can see here my most recent infographic that talks about affirmations in more detail. So this is about how you structure your affirmations. As I was saying before, it's all about that language framing basically, okay? So first of all, we talk about how your affirmations should always be personal to you. They shouldn't be in reference to anybody else in a sense that they don't directly affect anybody else, but they should be about you and what you are doing, what you want to achieve. That can include influencing other people, but it means that this affirmation should be about you, and you should be using I or me or we or us. Okay, so you're talking directly about yourself mainly. Okay, second of all, they should be positive, which means that even if, and by making them positive, even on days when you're not particularly feeling it, maybe you're struggling for a bit of motivation, you've got a busy day ahead, something like that, positive affirmations and that positive framing of the language mean that it will hopefully re-motivate you to get up, have a go and crack on with whatever you've got to get done that day. Or if you do them before you go to bed, it motivates you for the day ahead. Okay. And also, if you do them before you go to bed, it usually gives you, I mean, from personal experience, I have found that it gives you a better night's sleep, because you wake up, you go to sleep without too many things on your mind, too many worries. And then you wake up the next morning already feeling energized and ready to go. So having that positive language in there is super, super important. It's important that you make them present tense. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything happening too far into the future or reflecting on anything that's happened in the past. It's about your day ahead, whether that's the day that you're starting or the day that you've got coming next. And it's about giving yourself something to work for and motivation for that day. So it's quite in the moment. It's not thinking too far ahead or reflecting back on the past, really. It's important that it's visual. So when you close your eyes, you should be able to imagine this affirmation coming true, as well as being able to read it out loud or read it to, think about it to yourself in your head as well. So keeping it visual means that it's the more ways you can make it real for your brain, the more likely it is to happen. So by being able to visualize what's going on, that helps your brain believe that that's what is the truth and that's what is going to happen. And then finally, your goals, your affirmations, should be emotional. They should use emotional language. So if you look at mine, for example, I always say in a morning when I get up that I am incredibly I have an incredibly rewarding job. I'm incredibly blessed that I get up every day and my ultimate goal is to help people and to help other people. And I'm very, very blessed to have that as my job. And that is one thing that I always make sure that my affirmations is emotional, because if you have an emotional attachment, so if you have lots of emotion behind why you're affirming, what your goal is, why your goals are the way they are, you're much, much more likely to go out and want to achieve them and have the motivation to achieve them. So like I say, my example, you can see it's all color coded. It is incredibly rewarding. So it's present. I'm using those emotional words that so it's personal, although I am talking about my impact on other people, which the people helps it become more visual, because I can imagine the children and the groups of people that I will be working with that day. Or if I'm doing something like this and I'm working from home, I'm imagining who might be watching my videos and things like that. And I can think about all of that and actually make it more real for my brain. And then I'm helping people. I'm very positive with the language that I use, so that on days when nobody's being my cheerleader, or on days when I'm not really feeling it, I can be my own cheerleader, and I can get myself, pick myself up and keep going and get going again. And I have affirmations that can help me back up and help back me up with all of that, I suppose, as well. Okay. So as well, guys, I wanted to share with you, this is my notebook that I currently have for my 7 Habits of Highly Effective People notes. So there's quite a lot in here, and of course it's in rainbow, because this is just my life, having everything organized in rainbows. Why wouldn't you? But so this is my original notes, which formed the basis of that infographic that I shared with you all on social media. But I wanted to just share with you the affirmation that Stephen Covey uses in his, because part of a lot of his anecdotes and a lot of his stories that he tells is about having children, and then now they're grown up when he writes the book, but he reflects back on some of the language and the things that he tried out with his children. So this is like a parenting idea one, or just generally dealing with people basically, and actual contact with people. So he says it's deeply satisfying, so there's your emotional connection. He's using is, so it's present, it's in the moment. That I respond, so it's personal, with wisdom, love, firmness, and self-control, positivity, when my children misbehave, which is something that is visual and happening. What he's basically saying there is that by doing that affirmation every day, hopefully when his children were misbehaving when they were younger, or when somebody isn't quite responding in the way that you want them to anything, whether it's something that might have turned into a bit of an argument that you're trying to resolve, or a difficult situation that you're trying to get on top of and try and, you know, muddle through and come to some sort of resolution and come, you know, kind of fix the problem. He's saying it's satisfying that I respond with wisdom, love, firmness, and self-control. So he's saying I don't let myself get worked up about it. I try and be wisdomous. I try and see things from their point of view. I come from a place of love, but I'm firm and I stand my ground and I do what's right for me. So your affirmations can be related to absolutely anything. They don't have to be goal related, but they will work towards your goals for you if you implement them and do them properly. Like I say, best times to do them, particularly for me personally, I've found are either first thing in the morning or before you go to bed at night. Sometimes it's good to do them a little bit of both. So maybe if you know you've got a busy day ahead the next day, affirm the night before when you get in bed, and then you've got that affirmation when you get up in the morning to keep you going and to stop that lull from happening and things like that. So maybe a bit of both could work for you guys. In the meantime, I want you to put this into practice. Try it. Let me know what you think, because I have loads and loads of information to share, more on goals, more on affirmations, more on habits. That's what this book is all about. And I would love, love, love to share these things with you in more detail. So if you found this last few minutes useful and you think that you want to give it a go yourself, please do. Please try it and let me know how it goes. If you're not sure where to start, but you do want to get started with affirmations, please get in touch, because I've got lots of books. I've got bookshelves and bookshelves up there of books I can recommend. The Stephen Covey book is quite a big read. It's quite heavy. I can sift through it because I've been studying personal development for so many years now, like 10 years. I can sift through it and pick out the bits that I know I'll find useful, but there's a lot of information in there. So I have got other books that I can recommend that are a bit more of an easy read, especially if personal development is pretty new to you guys. So let me know what you think. Like I say, as always, I always have comments turned off on my YouTube videos, because it means that the audience, and any audience, can view it. I've used a lot of grown-up language in this video today, but hopefully if you are a young person and you're watching, again, if there's anything you want to know more about, just get in touch on my socials. My link tree is always in my description of the video, so you can reach out. But the comments are turned off so that there's nothing negative can be posted. You know, I don't have a lot of control on what people put on my stuff, unless I turn comments off. So it just keeps it nice and safe, good environment for everybody to access the video. And then if you need me, the link tree's in my socials. You can my link tree's in my description with my socials. You can reach out to any of the social medias. Again, if you are a younger person though, please make sure that you've got the right permissions to be on those social medias, or you are more than welcome to get in touch via an adult as well. And I can show you, I can discuss it in more detail. Again, I can give you some more child-friendly books, because I have a lot of those as well. Believing is just the beginning, boys and girls. If you get involved with affirmations and you do them properly, they really, really do work for you. So get in touch if you've got any questions, queries, anything you want to go through before you get started, or if you're using them and putting them in place, let me know how they're working out for you. Have a fabulous rest of the day, gang, and I will see you soon. Bye.